What's going on, guys? It's a pleasure to have you all again. So in today's video we'll be talking about dreams, why it's important to have a dream, why some people go what they want and others quit halfway through, and a lot of other info in the mix. So stay tuned and let's get started. Before we dive in today's topic in details, I think it's really critical to highlight something here, and that is failure. Failure, as we all know, is scary. The emotional consequences of failing can be devastating. I think for many of us, failure becomes a reflection of our abilities and self-worth, and as a result, failing to reach a personal goal translates into failing as a person. Nonetheless, I believe it's one of the best tools to keep us motivated to achieve success. However, quitting, on the other hand, is a whole different story. Quitting is hard. Spending many hours toward the pursuit of a goal and having built a solid image of the future that depends on the accomplishment of that goal makes it really hard to give up and abandon it. I think quitting implies weakness to a certain point, and that is of course beside the external factors that force us to quit, while failure indicates growth and strength. Somehow failure is a less bitter pill to swallow. That being said, I believe that there are many reasons on why we end up dropping our dreams. Growing up, I had many dreams that I wanted to accomplish, but at some point I quit. Besides getting more mature and having more knowledge to choose which dream to follow and which one to drop, I think there are other factors that are really essential to analyze as well. And one thing I can think of right away is the lack of discipline. Pursuing a goal necessitates commitment and a lot of discipline. Discipline and the willingness to work hard, I think, are often missing. We all want to reach an end goal without having to sweat for it, and I think this is probably the number one reason why so many people generate one idea after another, but they never move on to the execution state. Lacking discipline to put in the effort day after day and without anticipating immediate result can affect our will to keep on going with that dream as well. So I believe if we are going to succeed at something, then we need to be in it for the long haul rather than just quick short-term success. Thus, growing our willpower is not easy, but it's vital to see our goals at the end. The process starts with a good, honest understanding of our strengths and weaknesses. Based on these strengths, we can see where we're at, what we can do, and how to overcome such weaknesses, which will help develop the needed mindset. Having such a mindset is key because this will help into breaking out of the routine and doing whatever it takes to pursue something, although challenging, yet rewarding. Another reason is that we are afraid of being judged. A fear of being judged by the people is another reason why we give up early on. Some ideas are typically unique. They are not readily accepted or adopted by the society. You see, most people operate on the basis of habit and tradition. Hence, something brand new you intend to do with your life could be seen as ridiculous in the eyes of others. So I believe it's key here when pursuing a dream, we should confide in a few trusted, similar-minded individuals. Their feedback would be beneficial for us. They would help us with our plans and bring it to fruition with us. And the rest, I believe, doesn't really have to concern us because it's our idea and it means everything to us, and nobody would appreciate it the way we do. Daily distractions is another reason. Dreams and specific goals require focus and strategic execution day after day. At the same time, most of us have other responsibilities. Daily struggles and routines that have become ingrained in our very system are often distracting. They keep us from seeing the end goal, and the dream becomes way too abstract to pursue, and most will give up within a short period of time. You see, we live in a very dynamic world. Instant access to information, communication, entertainment, you name it. We've gotten used to leading fast-paced lives, and we also gotten used to wanting immediate gratification. So I believe it's really important to prioritize our day and time in the best way possible, as a serious dream will demand so. Furthermore, a single failure is seen as the end of all things. Sadly, achieving a goal isn't always a straight and unwinding path. There might be a couple of failures before the eventual success. The vast majority of people will give up after the first stumbling block. They will lack the strength to learn a lesson and to overcome that block. You see, in order to be successful, we have to turn every failure into an opportunity to learn from. This is what visionaries and successful people do. So we can't anticipate usually for the pursuit of our dreams to always be simple and effortless. I hate failure, and I'm sure all of us do. I always try to get it all done without committing any mistakes. But we also have to understand that failure is natural and it might happen at some point as we are not immune to it. So if you manage to make it all done without committing any mistakes, then hats off to you. If not, then what matters after you fail is much more important than blaming yourself for committing that failure. You see, failure allows us to learn from our mistakes, to assess what worked and what didn't, and to regroup our efforts to come up with an action plan. And the more specific a strategy is, the easier it will be to move forward with that dream. And I think it's really important here to determine if your goal is attainable or not in the first place. This step is the hardest. Deciding that a goal is not going to materialize is not easy. There are many reasons why some goals become unattainable. Biological, social, cultural, and economic factors can create obstacles against that goal. However, the main key here, I believe, is to learn how to adapt and react accordingly into what's favoring that dream. So the bottom line is this. If that goal is realistic, then there would be ways to be flexible around any external factors that keeps us away from moving on. You see, dreams are just dreams until we decide they are going to be something more. And when we add passion to it, no life circumstances will keep us away from it. And that was some of the main reasons on why we quit our dreams at some point. And now I think it's only fair enough to flip the script and talk about why it's crucial to chase our dreams. Well, first things first, sadly, dream chasing is not something everyone is cut out to do. Dream chasing is for those who dare to take a chance to believe that their dreams is something more than a thought or a possibility. I'm a strong advocate against quitting our dreams. Why? Well, simply put, life is too short not to. We're all gonna have some hard times here and there, so why not trying to make at least something beautiful in that mix? We have to do it for ourselves and our happiness. You see, dreams always seem like they are so hard to achieve. That's why they're called dreams. But there is nothing quite like the feeling of knowing that we have made it, that we have achieved something that we always wanted. Pursuing things we are passionate about gives us joy. It gives our life a meaning, a purpose. And according to the expert hypnotherapist Marissa Peer, the key to living an uncompromised happy life is to follow your dreams and to discover what you're passionate about. So my words here is that we have to keep moving on in that journey because we deserve it. We deserve to be happy. Just imagine it. And in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, happiness is not a goal, it's a byproduct of living what we love. No one else is going to complete our dreams but us. And there will always be some people second guessing us, telling us that it's unachievable. But it's okay. I had my share with such people before, but I didn't care quite honestly. People will always talk no matter what. So I think it's critical to follow the path and be dream selfish because you owe it to yourself and those who love you to be happy for the rest of your life. Now, just imagine this with me for a moment. Wouldn't it be nice if there was someone who told us, this is what you're supposed to be doing, and this is what you need to do to get there? Well, sadly, that will never happen. Life is for us to figure out. We have to go through all the stages of trials and errors before we achieve something great. If it was that easy to achieve anything, then all of us would have been happy and living the time of our life by now. I'm not saying that we have to struggle for eternity, but we have to act rationally in case we fall off the track, and we have to accept that it will take a bit of time and effort to achieve that dream. And I think what separates the normal people from the people who seem to have it all is the ability to always hang on into their dreams. Few people will continue to have the same dreams when they fail, but many decide to not push as hard as before. And now I know for a fact that grinding smartly is not an option, it's a necessity. If we don't learn from our past setbacks, how can we grow as a person? how can we achieve anything? What's the point of living our life if we're going to be stagnant for the rest of it? Like I said earlier, the path is going to be long. It's more of a marathon than a sprint. Well, how do you win such a marathon? You have to know that you're not going to be the best right away. It takes training, learning, it takes becoming a student of life. Never stop is what I like to say at the end. Dreams give us something to live for. They give us more purpose in life. There is nothing more satisfying than achieving something we worked tirelessly for. It's good to be a dreamer, but it's better to be a planner and a doer. You see, there is a reason why, as kids, we loved magic and dreams. Stop chasing your dreams and you will forget how it feels like to live hopeful and young. Through accomplishing your dreams, you will come to appreciate the experience and know that every part of the journey is just a part of success, and that it wasn't really all that bad as it was all worth it in the end. Hang on to what you love and don't leave it. Regret is a terrible thing, and a dream is powerful enough to bring you regret for the rest of your life if you don't take the chance to follow it. You see, we at some point in time have spent a thought wondering about our role in this universe. And among many things, I believe achieving our dream will always be in the answer. So your dream is your responsibility, as when you live your dream, you don't go looking for happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction, independency, freedom, and many more. Rather, these things will come looking for you. And remember that your mind is just like a land. It doesn't care what you planted, whether it's a good seed or a bad one. It will give you what you planned at the end. So plant your mind with dreams and water it with hope, passion, and discipline. And in the words of Jim Carrey, if you give up on your dreams, what's left? And that's it, guys, for today's video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content. And down there in the comment section, I'd like to interact with you no more. So please comment down below, what is your dream? And with that being said, I wish you all the best in your life. Be happy, be strong, and never stop until you live your dream. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.